finally I was like, so are you going to you going to ask me what? And finally he was like, well, what do you think? I was like, yeah, let's do it. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. I made him squirm for a while.
Welcome to Normalizing Non-Monogamy, the podcast where we interview incredible people from across the entire spectrum of non-monogamy to hear their fascinating stories. We strive to bring guests on the show who have a healthy approach to non-monogamy. However, it's important to remember that everyone does it a little bit differently, and the views and opinions expressed by our guests do not necessarily reflect our own.
Additionally, we produce this show for entertainment purposes only. Please be aware that we aren't doctors or therapists. Consult a medical professional for anything regarding your health that you might learn about on the show. Enjoy!
Welcome to episode 82. We're Finn and Emma, and today we have an interview with Gina and Matt.
I know you're thinking, it said Gina and Matt. Well, no. It's pronounced Jenna, people.
It is.
Ask her yourself. She'll tell you. Just wanted to make sure that was clear. It's an awesome conversation. They're both super fun people. And I will just give a little disclaimer because I can relate maybe to sometimes my sarcastic sense of humor doesn't translate to audio. And so everyone should know that these two are having a lot of fun together, even though maybe it sounds like they're being mean to each other sometimes. They're not. They're not
at all. And they are a little bit nervous at the beginning. It's a little bit of a slow start.
But we warmed them up.
Yep.
I gave them the old Finn charm. And they're... Yeah?
Yeah, good job. Anyway, we hope you enjoy the interview. We have a couple of quick announcements as normal.
Let's get it over to our travel agent.
Yeah.
Emma,
I'm the new travel agent. Yes. We are going to be in, first off, New York City at the end of September / early October. Then we're going to be in Boston doing some house sitting for the month of October. And then newly added to our plans, we will be in Toronto at the end of October, on our way back, moving west. So that's our current plan.
So one thing to keep in mind is we're going to be adding an events page to our website.
Yes.
If you're listening to this on Wednesday, it's probably not up there yet. If you're listening to it on Thursday,
it might be by then.
We're recording this a little in advance and we're going to be off grid for a little while. So keep your eyes open for an events page and an email list to sign up for. So when we announce, maybe even somewhat last minute, like, hey, we're going to be at a bar next week or a whatever next week, you can be the first to know where we're going to be and how you can meet us and other people that support the show.
Yes, we're super excited about this, if you can't tell. Anyway.
Even I'm excited.
I know, sometimes, man. No.
One other thing.
Yeah, so you've heard us mention before, STDcheck.com.
Well, hold on, but no, Jenna mentions.
That's what I was just going to say. In this episode, Jenna mentions online testing, and so we had to plug STD Check as well.
But don't take it from us. We're going to play a quick clip from one of our awesome listeners who used the service and left their experience, so you don't have to listen to us ramble. So here is that real quick, and we'll see you in 40 seconds, and then we'll get over to the episode. So thank you for this and for listening.
Hi, Emma and Finn. Just wanted to reach out and thank you for your recommendation about STD Check. Heard it on your podcast and checked it out online, so I decided to try it out since there was a location about 5 minutes from where I work. I went in on a Friday afternoon after filling out the information. In and out, took 10 minutes, did the blood sample and urine sample, and off I went. And since it was a Friday and then they didn't work the weekends, on Monday, right after lunch, I got a text notification that the results were ready. So easy as pie. Once again, just want to thank you for the recommendation. This is Who Knows 2001 on Cassidy, and I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Bye.
We don't need to pause.
Yeah, we don't have to wait the full 40 seconds. We can just, we'll edit this in.
You may have realized that we did play this a few weeks ago if you're a normal listener, but we thought it was so important and a great story that we wanted to play it again. So.
And also, if you want to hear different ones,
Send them to us.
Maybe you should send them to us and we'll include them. And then you don't have to listen to us talk. And just another quick disclaimer, using the links for this service not only helps support the community, but it does help support our show. So thank you for listening to us talk about it. We really appreciate it. And we're hoping to use any money we make from this to continue to make the show better and, again, get out and see people in person.
Yes. You can find the links on our resources page. You could also find a lot of other things on our website, including contacting us.
And maybe an events page.
Eventually an events page. Yes, we're going to get that up very soon. Let out normalizingnonmonogamy.com or nnmpodcast.com.
I think that's about all. Maybe we should let Matt and Jenna tell us their preference for. Well, I don't want to spoil.
What?
I don't want to spoil it.
Go enjoy this interview, everyone.
So I'm going to open with a new icebreaker question.
Okay.
It's never been asked on the show before.
Okay.
When you're making a grilled cheese sandwich, do you cut diagonally corner to corner or horizontally straight across? Because this determines whether or not we would ever be compatible.
I'm an always diagonal sandwich cutter. Like, I think it just is more special that way.
I've got a question to follow this answer. Always diagonal because I like the crunchiness of the corners.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Especially if you dunk it in soup.
Yeah, no, that's
you have it's necessity. But also, why do they call it a grilled cheese when you don't cook it on a grill?
We might have to modify this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pan cheese doesn't have quite the same ring.
Right. It's grilled, like a flat top, a pan, same thing.
No,
well,
you made that up.
You both passed.
Okay, good.
I do occasionally without thinking.
Sometimes she'll screw it up, and then I have to start all over from our marriage, actually. So, well, I guess. Do you mind telling everybody, Matt and Jenna, a little bit about yourselves and telling us a little bit about yourselves? Because we know a little tiny bit besides the pan cheese saga.
You want to go? You go first, ladies first.
Okay. Well, I'm 35 and we have 2 kids and we live in the South, like very South. You can probably tell from my accent. And we've been in this lifestyle, I guess, a little over a year. And we sort of stumbled into it. We weren't looking for it. It just sort of happened.
And I'm Matt. I'm 32. 32. Again, from the South. I'm a artist. And again, Jenna kind of filled us in on been doing this for about a year or so.
Yeah. And how long have you two been together?
January was 6 years.
Yeah.
Cool.
6.5 years.
So did non-monogamy, or I guess monogamy in general, the conversation ever come up throughout the first, I guess, 5 years of your relationship?
Or before you were together at all?
No. It didn't come up until it actually started happening. Until we were in the situation where we were considering it, and then it came up. Besides watching some documentaries on polyamory and stuff, and I just remember watching one and telling him this is insane. This is entirely way too much talking and feelings and emotions and too many people. I don't know how people do this. And then shortly thereafter, the topic of non-monogamy came into our life. So,
and that was me. I had met a girl that was openly, her and her husband were polyamorous, and I chatted back and forth with her, and I just asked her, I was what is this? I had very little knowledge on it. I mean, I kind of had an idea, but so she gave me the rundown on how what they do, and then she had brought it up would you all be interested in something like that, as couples? And I was like, I doubt it. I really honestly think Jenna would say, go fuck yourself. So I brought it up, and
he's skipping a lot of steps.
You can fill in the blanks. I'm just in the high points. I know how I remember it. So I asked her, I was like, what are your thoughts on, polyamory? And she was like, I think we could do it. And can you let me finish?
She's over here shaking her head.
Yeah. So, and this is how I remember. And the look on her face was, okay, let's do it. And it took me a good 2 days to get over that, like, oh shit, like, wait, what? She just said yes. And so, yeah, it took me a good 2 days to kind of like process the fact that she had said yes, without hesitation, it seemed like. But you can tell it the way that you remember it.
Yeah, what's the real story, Jenna?
So the couple that that introduced us to it, I guess you would say, he was, chatting back and forth with the girl. She gets tattooed. She's a tattoo collector. And so he was going to tattoo her. And then we also host a big event here where we're from that's tattoo related. And they were coming to this event, participating in it and stuff. So, I mean, they had got to know each other pretty well, just chatting back and forth, and had kind of brought this up. Well, then we met them in person, and there was just like, like, I don't know, I wasn't thinking anything like relationship wise or like, anything like that. Just there was
you knew who she was though. You knew he was talking to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you knew they were talking about potential
at that point in time.
No. Okay.
And so we met at the event. It was real brief, but then it was like soon after, it was like, well, we'll hang out again. I was like, okay, great. And so then a few weeks later, we did go and hang out. And at that point, I was pretty in tune to the fact that something was brewing. And I knew he was too scared to bring it up to me, but I was just waiting. I was kind of watching him like dance around it, I guess you'd say. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's something, and we're gonna find out. So we go over to where they live and hang out with them for the day, and it was just an immediate connection. It was just, with her particularly. The husband kind of wasn't as personable that first day, but later he became more personable. But it was just an immediate connection, and so then we all kind of started chatting, like, on Instagram, text message, whatever, and just got to know each other better. And then finally I was like, so are you going to like, you going to ask me what? And finally he was like, well, what do you think? I was like, yeah, let's do it. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah. I made him squirm for a while, but I was totally into it. As soon as I met her, as soon as I laid eyes on her, honestly, there was something that like, was like, whoa.
Without even knowing though that was going on in the background. So it was.
I'm really intuitive.
Yeah.
And I just knew. The second I saw a picture of her, it was like, who is this? What's going on? Like, I was just like, I didn't realize until later that there was a reason for all of that. And so then, it was just immediately like, yeah, let's figure this out. Let's do this.
Well, I'm going to lay down an official ruling.
Yeah.
This was all Jenna's idea.
She just, it's like the puppet master. She made me squirm. She's like, okay, I know what's going on. She's going to just
I knew
push me in the direction she wants, and then just let me think that it was my idea this whole time.
I knew what was going on. I knew he was too scared to say anything.
So what happened in the mind? Like, what was the mindset shift between watching the documentaries and thinking, this is way too crazy, to, yeah, okay, let's give it a go? And at the same time, was it, when you said let's give it a go, was that let's give polyamory a go, or was it strictly like let's explore the sexual side of it?
Well, so the documentary just really made things seem super stressful. Like, there was just like so much work involved in this. And then meeting this couple made things seem super easy and natural. And I wanted more. I wanted to know more. I wanted to do more. I wanted to be around them more. I know he felt the same way. Pretty sure they felt the same way. And so at that point, I was just going with feelings, like the way I felt. And I was just like, I can't deny this. Like, I can't deny these feelings of wanting to do this and wanting to know more about it. And so that's how we shifted sort of. It was one of those like rare connections that you have. And I think that's the only way that we would have ended up in this lifestyle, because otherwise, if we had just been like, oh, let's try this, let's just go to a club randomly, I would have been totally a nervous wreck. Like, this is too much for me. I don't want to do this. And we never would have gone back.
Yeah. And at that point, we had no idea about the swinging side of it with like clubs, and because they introduced us to the club
in our area.
Yeah.
And like the events. And so we still haven't gone to a big event because we just haven't had the opportunity. Yeah. Mainly it was just the connection we had with them that opened up our eyes to the fact that this is something we can do. And that, I don't know, life's just kind of about connections. And and we learned also through it that like making that connection was like enriching our relationship. Like we were getting closer. Like we left them that one day we all hung out and could barely even make it home without just like banging it out. Like, the sexual tension was insane. So it was like, whoa, what is happening? What is this? I want more.
Yeah. And so with that couple, did you explore it again? Was it more like the sexual side, or was it also, did you go right into the polyamory route? Like where you,
unfortunately,
well, I mean, at that point there was no difference. We didn't have the tools.
Yeah.
To know the difference between like polyamory and then swinging and, the 100 other variations of it. And so it was just all kind of like what the natural
progression of a relationship would be,
sure.
I guess.
There you go.
And
yeah. I guess maybe
you
a better
dated them.
Yeah.
Her more.
Her.
And,
okay.
She wanted it to be a thing, and I guess the relationship that they have, like she knew that he wasn't going to be open to having the way that they work normally is him and two women. So like she knew that getting him on board to be with a couple was going to be a challenge. So she kind of tried to like delicately present it to him and get him to like know us more, and like, and it went really well for a while. And, she kind of was delicately trying to ease him into that idea. Ultimately, obviously it didn't work, but, that I think if he had been on board, we would be in a polyamorous situation right now, where, we would all still be open to whatever everybody else wanted to do. Like we wouldn't hold anybody back from what they wanted to do, but the connection was significant enough to where we would, it would still be a thing. So it was, there was pull back from him.
Yeah. I feel like it would have been more than a friends with benefits type situation, kind of in the swinging side of it. But, I guess we do not live in the same town, so it would definitely be more of still a relationship, but kind of a not that long distance relationship. Right. I don't know. Sure. But we made it work for a while. This is the first time that I would be like, okay, cool, we're going to do this. We're going to go drive an hour away to go, see somebody like at a drop of a hat. And, whatever I was doing at the time, I could care less about it.
A lot of things happened really fast between like her and us. And we weren't opposed to him being involved in that. We wanted him to catch up, but we couldn't quite get him to catch up, and it just was happening. Like these feelings were just like flying, and it got really intense really fast, and us being like completely stupid.
Yeah. But I'm going to stop her because she's going to keep going. She's going to be the one that rambles this time. I had thought about this and how it was going to sound, because we were new and this was our very first kind of involvement in any kind of non-monogamy. We were kind of going with the flow and how we just assumed that they worked, and kind of taking her lead, and just assuming like, this is how it goes. And now that we were trying to exclude him by any means, because I had a good, I could have been friends with him, not just, excluding all the, sex or whatever. I could be friends with him. He's one of the few people that I've met in, this lifestyle that I could right off the bat be friends with and have a lot of things in common, and just hang out on a friend met him at a bar type situation.
Yeah.
So I didn't want people to think that it was just kind of like we're trying to.
You weren't trying to like phase him out and replace him.
Not by any means. And I felt like there could be, I was very attracted to him and like felt like there was a definite connection, but I felt the resistance. Mm-hmm. Whereas with her, it was just like everybody was just like there was just resistance from him, and I think he, really tried and wanted to, but at the end of the day, it didn't work for him. It wasn't in his comfort zone.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which was unfortunate. But.
So since then, are you still in that relationship with her, or have you moved on, and has the dynamic taken on a different form at this point for you two?
Unfortunately, that ended in a very dramatic and sad, abrupt situation. And from that point, it took us probably 6 to 7 months to even step back out into trying to meet other people, because although we knew we wanted to, it was really hard for us to let go of that. Like, it sounds crazy, but there were a lot of feelings, like
and going from, me and her by ourselves being perfectly happy, and then having these really strong feelings for somebody else, and we both having these same feelings. And it was like going through a breakup.
Yeah.
But
both of us.
So we're like together and we're feeling this, and I felt like an asshole because I was like, I'm with this amazing person, but I'm grieving, and maybe it's the artist side of me that was just like depressed for a while, and kind of shutting other things out because I was just I haven't gone through a breakup and
but then here I was on the same, like going through the same thing. So we both, if we had both been doing it like, by ourselves, we would have thought we were crazy, but we're like, but you're feeling this way too. And so it's like, we're not crazy. Like, we're both feeling this way. And, I'm fairly confident she was feeling that way as well. But, she made the decision he gave her an ultimatum, either zero contact with them or me. And, she made the decision to stay with her husband, which who could blame? And, of course, that's the decision you would make. And so that was tough on all of us. But it took us about 6 or 7 months before we even were ready. We knew we were going to eventually. We just took us a while before we were even ready to like try and meet new people.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so I'm curious, like you kind of jumped into it, like you said, because something was presented to you and you both kind of fell for somebody. So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the fears that people would normally have when they decide like, hey, we're going to open our marriage and I'm worried about this, and this, it sounds like you kind of bypassed those because you were both like sort of head over heels for somebody. When you stepped back out of it and then you had to reassess and be like, okay, we want to do this again. Do you think, did any fears come up that you were like, okay, now that we're doing this, like with level heads, are we worried about anything?
No, I think we took it all into consideration, even though it seemed briefly, but I still had those same concerns. Like, what if, I don't know, you fall for somebody and then, you're going to leave me, or I'm not adequate enough for, somebody else, or the main thing is that's like seeing her with somebody else, like another man, which I feel like most people or men are ingrained to be like, oh, this is mine. And if to see anybody else touch her is, fight them or something like that, or be completely disgusted by it.
Jealous too.
Yeah, and jealousy. There was another one in there. And I thought about it. I was like, I should be mad or jealous, right now, but I'm not. I enjoy seeing her, enjoying herself and being pleased. And that's pretty much all you can think about at the time. And then you think about it after the fact and replay it in your mind, and you're like, no, I'm still not mad about it. And that was one of those things. It wasn't the fact that I was upset or jealous or mad. It was the fact that I was like, should I be?
But to answer your question, how did we go from there? What did we figure out we wanted to do, or where we wanted to be? Literally, we're just figuring out as we go. Like, we know we want to meet people, and we obviously know now that what we think we know can change in an instant. So we can say all day long, oh, we only want to do this for strictly swinger. Well, you never know. You never know what kind of connection you're going to make with somebody. Or we can say, oh, we only want to find, a third. We want to find a unicorn. We want to have a significant relationship with another woman. Well, you don't know. Like, that may happen. That may not happen. So basically, we're just in it for, trying to figure it out as we go. And we don't have any hard rules with each other. Like, as long as I have like a good gut feeling about the people we've met, and we like trust them, we kind of just go with it. And whatever opportunities present themselves, we think about it, we discuss it, and we're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's try it. Let's see. And that's how it's kind of been for the last like 6 months.
Well, and it sounds like too, like all of the things you named, Matt, that you felt should have been problems. It sounds like none of them really were for either of you, or at least they haven't been.
Not like you would have thought at all. Like most people would think, oh, that I would be so jealous, or it's not that way at all. It's, I think because we saw right off the bat how much it can enrich our lives and our relationship that we just go.
That's awesome.
No,
that's awesome.
Is.
I wasn't trying to force you to have a problem. I was just
no.
have a problem. Damn it!
Neither one of us are very much on the jealous side in the first place, but of course, jealousy is natural. It's going to happen every now and then, but it's more of like I wish I could. I wish that. For instance, a couple weekends ago, I was out of town with some friends.
You're skipping ahead, but go.
This is just an example. And some friends we had met in the lifestyle. I was with friends from college, like not in the lifestyle friends, girls trip. And he was home, and we met some friends in the lifestyle the weekend before that. And they live here. And so they asked me while I was gone if they could all go out together. And I was like, yeah, sure. That sounds good. And then they were like, well, what if we, played too? And I was like, honestly, right now, the thought of that is like making me so turned on. So please do it and just keep me updated on how it goes. So basically I spent like a weekend being super turned on nonstop, without being able to do anything about it.
She didn't have anything. She texted me like the day she was supposed to come back. I was like, I've been in the tried this like little keychain vibrator that I got her, like a gag gift. She was like, nah, not working. I took a hour-long bath, and then the water wasn't strong enough. She was trying all the.
She's at the car wash. She's in the pressure washer.
Yes, do it. And tell me all about it. And
she got pictures. She got some pictures.
Yeah. But if you'd asked me that a year and a half ago, I would have been like, what? That's insane. No. But yeah.
Well, and it's amazing that you were able to just go with your gut at that moment, right? I'm sure all of us second guess it, and it's like, oh, well, maybe I'm not going to like it, but you know what? This is how I'm feeling about it right now. And even if I don't like it, it'll still be okay, because we can come back and talk about it afterward and, change things in the future if I didn't like it.
Exactly. And the only, as it was going on, the only thing I was thinking was is it wrong that I'm not jealous? Should I be upset about this? Is that okay? And then I was like, is there something wrong with me for not being upset about this? But the only thing I was jealous about was that I wasn't here. I was super pumped for him. I was like, yes, y'all, and her too. Cause, the girl in the relationship, she was getting 2 men at one time. It was exciting and fun times. So,
which is something she wants to do.
Yeah. Haven't gotten that one yet, but
you got time.
We have plenty of time. So it's one of those to do.
Well, she feels the same way. She's like, God, I want you to do that so bad. She was like, even if, I'm just downstairs, and y'all are locked in upstairs, it'll turn me on just knowing y'all are doing that. I was like, okay, well, let's set it up. Let's get it on.
You busy tonight? What's going on?
Yeah.
I think it's awesome, but I also think it's fascinating that like neither of you really have that like societal conditioning to be jealous, but you're still conditioned to think you should be, which is it's just so crazy to me. You're like, well, I'm not, but I'm supposed to be, but I'm not. And then it's like, I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Learning to break from a lot of societal norms in the last year and learning how much it can just elevate your relationship, your life, your just outlook on everything when you break out of so many of those societal norms.
Yeah.
Do you mind talking about that? Because you've mentioned it a few times. Like, what are some of the things that you've seen improve either in your relationship, whether it's sexually or beyond that?
Well, I mean, definitely sexually. Like, we have gotten way more just experimental and like down for whatever, basically. But we always had a good sex life, but it's gotten like so much better. But communication, that would be the number one thing, because we kind of sucked at it before.
I know it's hard to believe that I, wasn't good at communication. But yeah, it's a running joke at work that, my communication skills are subpar.
And I mean, I thought mine were good, but they were now seeing how it is and how we actually communicate, they suck too. So which has made our marriage better. Like,
which means if yours sucked, mine was fucking terrible.
I mean, our is not good. It really wasn't good.
I just been mine in general, but yeah.
So how did you make that shift though? Like, was it?
Well, yeah, like
trial and error.
Yeah, how did you learn to be better about it?
Well, because of the situation that happened initially, we had to communicate. We had to talk about this. And then we went through a traumatic thing together. Like, we went through like, a breakup that really broke both of our hearts at the same time. And so at that point, like, there is nothing to do but communicate about it. Like, you have to talk about it to each other, because nobody else fucking understands at all. I mean, some of my closest friends knew kind of what happened and what went down, but they don't understand. There's no way you could understand that. The only people that could truly understand that were us involved. So talking about that, and then just, once we finally decided to like tiptoe back into it, you have to sit there and say, so it was just, I guess it was just like practice made us better. Like, we're forced into having to communicate better. And then we just, practice makes perfect. That the more we talk about it and the more we just get better at it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
I was also curious, Jenna, had you ever like been attracted to women before that, or was this like your first time and you're like, well, what the fuck is happening?
Well, so no, not really. In my 20s and stuff, we was a partier, had lots of fun, had like make out sessions with girls, but nothing further. Like, I never thought I could have sex with a woman. I didn't think that was anything, but I think that was just more my mind telling me I couldn't. But meeting this particular woman, the first one, it was just like, I mean, the first night we were together, it was just completely natural and amazing. And so now I've like realized, yeah, you do. You really like the ladies a lot. And so,
you do like the ladies.
Yeah. So now I've realized that that's like a whole nother part of me that I didn't even know existed before. So yeah, that I think I hear this on, a lot of podcasts, a lot of women say kind of the same thing. Like, well, I always kind of knew, I thought women were beautiful, or, I was attracted to this woman, but I didn't really think it was that, because I liked men too. Mm-hmm. So until I met her.
And society, you're pushed to, pick one, right?
Right. Or you think, or you're just told that, bisexual people just like sex in general. They just will do whatever, it's like, no, like, you can actually have deep, meaningful connections with, both sexes, multiple people at the same time, lots of things that you're told are not normal or okay.
The hipsters ruined bisexuality.
What? How?
Just like PBR.
What?
Just like PBR.
No. Everyone's.
But yeah, so I can say all day long, like, I don't want to put a label on it, but pretty much, I'm bisexual.
Yeah. How about on your side, Matt? Or
we've discussed all like especially listen to podcasts about what I'd be into or open with, and I've never said I'm not going to do anything. I'm open to anything. If I enjoy it, I don't have the urge that
Sure.
bisexual urges that I can think of, but
yeah.
I mean, he's comfortable being in a scenario where there's naked men and but it's not like a bisexual between the men. Obviously,
No, that's fair. I was just curious, and I mean, I think that's where a lot of people are. It's that you don't have that urge, and I think I'm very much the same way.
Well, and it might honestly be until who knows? I mean, someday you might meet that person, and you're like, well, for this person, yes, but no
you're
one
trying
else.
to make them bisexual.
No, but it's same for women. I don't know.
You will be bisexual.
It's definitely something we've learned. You just
look into my eyes. No, I even told my apprentice, or he's no longer my apprentice, but now he's a good friend and co-worker now, and he's openly gay. And I even told him I'd go to what is it?
Gosh, not because you asked. In New Orleans, festival, one of the it's Essence Festival this past weekend, but it's not. It's I don't know.
Yeah,
it's their Pride.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like orgy pride. I don't know. And I was like,
I think all pride turn into orgy pride.
In New Orleans, most things do, but I was like, I'm going to go down there with you. And he was like, really? And I was like, I'm secure enough in myself. I'm really upset that you don't think that I'm secure enough in myself that I can take you to a gay event and not have a good time.
I was like, don't think y'all are going without me because I'm going too.
Exactly. That'd be my response.
She's going to find her two men one way or another. She doesn't care if they're gay, straight.
Yeah.
I have no issue with it. To me, it's all, sexuality, whatever you're comfortable with. I feel like the same way with religion. You can do believe whatever you want to believe. Just don't, put it on me.
Yeah. I like that motto.
Yep.
Don't put your penis on my shoulder.
Without asking.
Without consent.
Yeah.
Women do that.
Was there anything else that either of you, like Jenna, you kind of discovered that you enjoyed women? Were there other things that you discovered either about yourself or about your partner that surprised you as you've been exploring this?
There's probably so much that has surprised him.
So don't assume that I'm surprised about anything.
Well,
I know you're a slut.
I was surprised at him with being okay with me being with other men. I mean, I didn't know, because the first time it happened, he was very anxious about it. He was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this, but we're doing it. We're going to see. And I'm like, because he is, a moody artist, he can get super and emotional about stuff. And he doesn't get emotional, cry, throw a fit or anything. He'll just kind of go to his dark place for a little while. So I was kind of worried that, that would happen, but, it didn't. He was super happy. So that surprised me. And now he's trying to hot wife me out. I'm like, you need to chill. I'm not trying to go. He's very into it now. So
I just wanted, just to try, see. I mean, I wasn't just going to let you go with a stranger,
Right.
Yeah.
But if it was two strangers, one of them will keep you safe.
Obviously, it's better. Your odds are way better with two.
Yeah, so that was surprising, but
that was it. That's all that surprised you?
No, I knew you were a freak from the get-go, but yeah, sharing, I didn't know how much of a sharer you would be. You're very much a sharer.
Well, I just like to see you pleased, Ben.
Mm-hmm. He does.
No, I was surprised from the jump. So, like I said, it took me a solid 2 days to, comprehend what she had told me, let's do it. Because I, again, thought she was going to be like, fuck you. No. But yeah.
We were in a group conversation where things were, sexual conversation was kind of happening, but nobody had told me anything yet. And I finally just said, so does anybody want to clue me into this? Because I know what's going on, but nobody's telling me. And they're like, well, what do you think? And I was like, yeah, obviously, I'm already this far into it. We're sharing sex memes and boob pics, obviously. So that's how I surprised him.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd ever go back to having it where it's just the two of you? I mean, it sounds like you kind of went through a phase where it was while you were transitioning out of the breakup, but it also maybe sounds like it's not something you have to do. You don't do it every weekend, or maybe you do. I don't know. You tell me. I'll stop talking.
I wish we could, but we're just busy. We have kids, and it's just not that easy. But no, I don't think they're. I mean, maybe when we're really old and just don't care to fool with stuff like that anymore. Hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon, maybe 100. But no, I really
get way before 100.
I really don't.
The Red Bull's gonna kill me way before that.
I really don't think we'll ever go back to just being, completely monogamous. I think we're always at this point open.
Or at least open to having that conversation, right?
We might be practicing non-monogamy, but not because we want to, just because we hadn't met anybody we want, but we're always open. And I think we all be.
Yeah. How have you two handled safety and the conversations around that? Both your personal physical safety and your health?
Well, we always use condoms. And then, unfortunately, we live in an area where you can't just get easily checked. It's so stupid.
But luckily, I set my appointment to get one today from my physician, because I'm luckily being tattooing. I can just be hey, I need to get checked every so often. I deal with people's blood and needles and stuff like that, and it's just a precaution, and no one really second guesses it, or maybe they do and they just don't tell me. But I get a good out for stuff like that. Her on the other hand, not so much, or just in
not
general.
It's easy. I have to set up a real doctor's appointment on it, but I'm probably going to go to the online. At this point, we haven't had enough. It hasn't been anything wild and crazy.
Now that
we're about to, we're just kind of stepping back into it. So he's getting checked immediately, and then I will also be getting checked soon too, before step too much more into it.
Yeah,
that makes total sense.
Yeah,
actually, that's a clever hack. If to anybody who needs to go to their doctor, just tell them you're a tattoo artist,
or tell them you got a tattoo from a sketchy place. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you think I could pass for a tattoo artist?
No.
Hey, you could just say you got one somewhere.
We do still, because we are in the South and things are still just super judgmental. So you go to your doctor that you see every year, that you've been seeing for however many years, and tell him something like that. You don't know what's going to happen. You might get lectured for an hour. He might sit down, close that door, and lecture you. So a child. So you just never know.
I wish somebody tried to lecture me for an hour.
I'm pretty sure mine would not. He knows me well enough to know that he shouldn't do that. But just being in the South and all the, stigmas attached. And we don't have just readily available clinics that you can just walk in and say, hey, I want a full panel right now.
Right.
You have to go through the full doctor's visit process. So,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's stupid.
It is, and it's bullshit. And actually, but I was curious. You kind of talked earlier about you're not really boxing yourselves into anything. You're sort of open to whatever experience comes your way, because you've already seen that you can't say we're just a swinger, we're just polyamory. You're kind of open to it all. But I was curious, are there things that either of you are hoping to experience, or either that or that you want to see your partner experience that you haven't had the chance to yet?
Besides the her having two men at the same time, there's not a whole lot I guess that we on the list. I'm sure there are
No, I mean, okay, as a Pisces, like I'm all about, like I'm an emotional, like connection type person. So I'm hoping to find this, like I'm hoping to end up in the like, polyamory side of things and have like, another connection like our first, eventually. But then still within that, still being open to this is your life too, and our lives and y'all's lives and everybody's, you do what you still want to do, but still have that kind of connection. He's drinking more over here. But I am I love that. I live for deep, good, wonderful connections with people. So
until she's in the situation, like in the heat of the moment, and I've seen it every time.
I'm not saying that's the only thing I'll do.
She's just like, down, let's go. Oh,
yeah, I'll do that side of things too. They're asking for like hopes, what we want to have. I would like to make that eventually again. But yeah,
she
I'm
says
also
that.
down with other
she's been
stuff
saying
too.
that, though. That's what I'm getting at. I'm doing a very poor job explaining it. But she was like, I really hope for this. But every time we go somewhere or have an experience, she's like, you want to go upstairs?
At what point did I say I wasn't down for that too? Because I did.
At some point, I'm sure you said it.
Where do you think that deep connection starts?
We talked to a couple. Their strategy was you have sex
immediately,
like really soon after meeting, because if there's a connection, there'll be a connection. If there's not, it's not. And so you just move on and you either see them again because it was great or not because it was just not good. So
I think it starts with
it's like dating in general.
Yeah, it's just like when you meet someone, you either know if you want to get to know them more or you don't. And then same with like, I mean, we've met some people on, social media that we've occasionally talked to, and some have just been like at first, conversations going really well, and then all of a sudden it's just like, all right, this ain't going anywhere, and it just kind of dies. And then now we're talking to this girl, and I mean, we haven't even met her yet, but things are going pretty good. So hopefully if we meet, it'll be this good. But if not, then it's just not there. You never know until you meet them, and then you just kind of go from there, I guess.
Yeah.
You've been using like Instagram to
yeah, Instagram's been pretty good for us.
Yeah.
So you're just using your straight up like personal Instagram. You're not on any dating apps or.
Well, as of like 2 days ago, we
got on Cassidy.
Yeah.
And like filled out our profile and stuff. Cassidy's wild. Like, I'm like, whoa, hello, everything.
It definitely affirmed the belief that the male penis is not attractive.
I mean, I've seen a lot of penises and a lot of vaginas in a short amount of time.
Well, I think that's a wonderful tip, and it's not that they aren't attractive. It's that when you're looking to see if you're interested in somebody, that's not where you want to start looking.
That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not checking out, your meat. This is not the, produce
Deli
section at the grocery store. I don't need to, like, I want to see faces. I want to see personalities. Like, I want to know, like, so Cassidy for me is a little strange because that's what most people are putting in our area anyways. I don't know, but it's like, boom, here is my vagina and my penis, and here's us doing stuff, but our faces are not on there either because, I'm just scared about that. But we don't have, it's not like, I don't know.
No, you have a very legitimate and valid point.
Yes, you do.
And it's something that when we look for profiles, if like basically what we're looking to see is, are people having fun together? Are they doing things out in the real world? Like if there's some other pictures, like, okay, great. I don't even really look at them, honestly, because it's not, I'm looking to see, like, are you a happy couple? Are you doing things that we would enjoy doing together?
Yes. You look like normal people.
Yeah, but if
I'll read like their, bios, and, I can pretty much tell immediately, like, even if I think, oh, well, they might be attractive, for us. And then I'll read them like, oh, nope. Because I mean, that's good though. They tell you like, this is what we want. This is what we're doing. It's like, great. That's not what we're looking for. So. Yeah.
Well, I think that's a great tip.
Yes. How about I know you haven't had a ton of experiences, but have you had any like bloopers or funny moments that have happened?
Which one are you laughing about?
Which one?
You can tell them all. It's fine.
Yeah, with one girl.
Oh. Well, Matt had
I'm not going to tell you.
Matt had I don't know, should I?
Sure. I mean, you're not going to say
A girl. I'm just going to say a girl.
I'm going to say her.
And he thought, maybe this would be a good, this might be, you might be interested too. He thought maybe he was interested. So he kind of, was like, what do you think? And I was like, I mean, she's attractive. She's nice. Like, there's nothing wrong with her. Great personality. I was like, I'm not actually attracted to her though. Like, there's just nothing there. And so then he kept kind of pushing. I was like, okay, fine. Like, we'll go have a drink. Maybe we have a drink.
Can I just kind of stop you? Because this is right when we were getting back into it. We told each other, we're not going to let this past issue, we're not going to let it stifle what we want to do. So we're going to make, the step. We're going to make the, initiative.
The initiative to get back.
Yeah.
Basically. You're trying to make the effort.
To make the effort. And he thought this was like a good, viable option. And I was like, okay, all right, let's try it. Like, we'll go have a drink. Well, ended up not being able to go have a drink, but so she came over to the house to have a drink. Well, we ended up having a threesome, and oh my God, I was giving him death glares the whole time.
She says threesome, like,
I was like, this is not what I wanted. Like, this is not working for me. Like if you don't wrap this shit up, hey, listen. I felt so bad, but it was a blooper. It was a fail. And, but we learned from it.
Yeah.
And we learned that that we can't, take one for the team kind of situation. It doesn't work for us. And there are just some people that you're not attracted to. It's not going to work. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that person. Cause she's beautiful. She's a great personality. I simply wasn't attracted to her. There was no chemistry. None.
And the way that I work is when she's not feeling it or not enjoying herself, bone killer for sure.
Yeah. I'm aware of the situation, the syndrome.
Yeah.
So it was a major blunder.
It turned it off like a fucking light switch, and I was like, God damn!
But we made it through, survived it, and I mean, we were we were back. She's still a friend. We still chat with her, but we are very aware of the fact that it is a friend thing only. There is no physical connection whatsoever. So yeah.
But I will say that the first time we set the bar extremely high,
Right.
Yeah, there's really not. It'll be super hard to ever compare to that, but that's okay. We don't necessarily, it doesn't have to be that. And that's what when you're first
full swap which is our first, whatever is in a pool in New Orleans and, people watching, but not too many people watching, but, and it's just a fucking great experience, 10 on the scale. And then, so you started here, now you've got,
Well, and you had a super strong connection, and you were both super attracted to her. And so I can see why anybody coming into that situation's got a lot to live up to. And that's especially when you're first getting back into it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, it's awesome that, not that experience happened, but you were able to learn from it. And that's, we're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to fuck up sometimes. And that's exactly. As long as you can learn from it and move forward and laugh about it, hopefully. Yes. And, and it sounds like you were respectful to the other woman too. You're still friends and talk about it. So
very much. And, I wanted to make sure that, she knew that it was not by, any means her. It was just us. It just simply wasn't. And yeah, I don't think she was upset or anything about it. So, yeah. And then the other thing he's probably laughing about is he ordered a sex swing last week, and as soon as it came in, he just had to hang it. And so I'm I guess I thought I was in Cirque du Soleil or something. And I was I'm just going to hop in this thing, belly down, leg, and it fell out.
No, she didn't just fall out. It was the most graceful fall, spinning fall, in every position to the final she hit the floor. It was an orchestrated fall. It was graceful as fuck, man. But it was definitely a fall. And then she was trapped. And she was trapped in it. Was the funny part.
And my legs hanging. I was on the floor.
And she's got long legs, so like there's a lot to.
And we could neither of us could do anything because we were laughing so hard.
That sounds perfect.
That's a perfect story.
I would even ask for a reenactment. But.
I think I got a photo of it. I don't know the video. I tried.
Well, he didn't know that was going to happen, so he wasn't prepared for video. And then I was like, "Oh wait, this ain't going good." It's not going good. And then I start like slowly falling.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's awesome. Yes.
Is there anything else that we didn't cover, or do you have any other questions?
Yeah, that or any other resources besides our show. You've mentioned that, but are there other podcasts or resources you found useful since you've gotten back into exploring it?
Y'all's is definitely the main one we listen to, but we also listen to That Couple Next Door, which
just started.
Their stories are very interesting. It's a very different thing. It's like more of like listening to like podcast porn, I guess. Like you're hearing
but they're good at it.
Yeah, and you learn a lot about like, okay, well, you know, there's really no limit to like kinkiness. Like, well, it's very normal apparently because all the kink is happening.
And they know their way around,
mm-hmm.
I will say. And impressively.
Yes.
Yeah. So we listen to there's some.
I sent her the 10-person orgy one. That was the first one I sent her. She was like, "Oh shit." But I think Front Porch Swingers was the first one I listened to and kind of just stumbled upon, and then which is the same, you know, kind of
mm-hmm.
first, you know, telling their story. I feel like I'm benefit more from something like this and getting to hear a variety of kind of experiences and different
how people got into it, why they're into it, and you know how it's changed their relationship has been just so helpful for us because it just, you know, solidified what we were thinking and what we thought, but we just didn't really know what to do to like get back into it. And then we were like, okay, like we can do this. Like we can just show up at the club, like, and, you know, and meet people. And we don't have to be with people that have already been doing this for a long time. Like we can do this on our own. Cause it felt kind of like we needed like at first it felt like we need, you know, someone to introduce us, but now we're like, no, like, we can do this. And
which is,
there are other people out there.
It is hard, you know, doing it by yourself. You don't know, you don't have many friends in the lifestyle, and, you know, you don't have anybody to talk to about certain, you know, the lifestyle in general. You can't just be like, hey, friend at work, you know.
Yeah. This crazy ass thing happened over the weekend.
Yeah.
Can I tell you about it?
Yeah, because they will really think you're crazy.
Yeah.
So, you know, hearing everybody else's stories, like, okay, cool, that's normal. Like, that shit's way different than what I experienced, but it makes me feel better about myself. Like, okay, I'm not, you know, the one person in the world feeling this way or experiencing this at, you know, the exact same time.
Right.
I have a quick question. You say you listen to the different shows at work sometimes. Does anyone ever ask you what you're listening to?
Oh, all the time. I've got a handful. I've got 3 clients that know what I've listened to or what I'm listening to because I've told them.
But most of the people we work with, like, we're really tight. Like, we own our own business. And so everyone we work with has been with us for a long time now. We're really close. We're like a big family. They know what we're up to. Like, they knew what happened with the whole initial situation. And
she had to tell them. She had to tell like 3 people because they thought I was cheating on her.
Yeah.
So she was like, "Fuck, I got to tell at least these people that are very like
we're both in this. Don't worry." Because I mean, he was around a lot. You know, he was tattooing her, and she was like coming over and hanging out at the shop and stuff. So people were like, "What in the hell?" And I was like, "It's okay, I promise." But so then they're kind of in tune now to that. But our families know.
Like hers won't ever know.
Never.
Mine I just don't talk to them.
He wouldn't really care if his knew, but like mine will go to their grave not knowing.
So like my parents, I don't think they would give a shit.
They probably think we're crazy, or they probably think that like we're not happy, so we're, you know, doing this to try to make ourselves happy, which is a common misconception about non-monogamy.
Yes.
Are you happy for the record? For the record, are you happy?
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Happier than we've ever been. Non-monogamy is, we've always been happy and knew that we were like, crazy in love, but like doing this together, being each other's like, I don't know, it's a whole other level.
She's the best wingman.
I was just going to say wingman.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it doesn't sound like you're struggling.
No, and obviously I'm not an idiot. She's way more attractive than I am.
He always says this.
Yeah, because it's true.
Don't cut yourself short.
I mean, I'm not cutting myself short. That's the reason she hasn't gone to the eye doctor since we've been married.
That's why you won't get her optical insurance.
Tell people that he won't let me go get my eyes checked for a reason.
And it's still true. I'm just being real. But no, I obviously know that when we go out and people are checking her out, she's gorgeous. And then I just am not ugly enough to,
Well, I was going to say, you guys have a don't take one for the team policy. Most people do as well. So no one's taking one for the team.
No, we're not doing that.
It's anymore. The beard. You either like beards or you don't.
Or
like
you don't.
Beard.
Yeah.
I would like a beard. This is like 7 days of growth here.
Are just absolutely not.
No. But then the ones that are absolutely not are not for you. Like that's the easy part, right?
The ones that really love it are like totally our type, which is not funny. We've also discovered that we have the exact same type in taste in women.
But her taste in men have still baffled me.
It's all over the place. You just never know.
Everywhere.
There is no type, but our women taste right on point with each other. So.
Well, perfect.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
Last thoughts, final thoughts. Now that we know you're happy, we should have asked that right out of the gate.
Yeah.
No, we're for sure happy.
No, it's just hopefully we get to continue doing this and meeting people. I'd like to meet more people that are in the lifestyle and just have that group of friends that you can talk about the lifestyle with, as opposed to just we talk to ourselves a lot.
The most recent couple we met, it's definitely a very swinger level relationship. Like it's never going to be anything more than that, but like they're nice and we can talk to them about stuff and definitely we've had dinner with them a couple times, stuff like that. So we have one couple that we've been able to make that connection with. So that's progress for us.
Hey, that's one more than a lot of people.
Yeah.
So.
And because I travel a lot too, hopefully here in the next year or so, now that we're getting more comfortable in it, getting to go to different clubs and kind of
bigger cities and stuff just outside of our area, I think we'll be in Phoenix
in like the end of the next month and hopefully get to just go check it out. Apparently Phoenix is
a hotbed of activity.
Hopping. Activity. And, even like Ohio. And I mean, I literally travel everywhere or anywhere I want to go and, overseas and stuff like that. That's another, because of podcasts, I've known that overseas is a little bit different.
Yeah. Depends where you're at, but yeah.
Yeah. So I'd probably be a little more standoffish overseas, but in the States, all the states.
I mean, we are super fortunate. We live right by New Orleans, so New Orleans is a great city with plenty of activity going on. So we are fortunate that we can just hop over there for a weekend, and they have going on.
Yeah,
we start doing a map like every state.
Yeah,
every state with other people.
Well, that's a good point though too. Like, because you travel a lot, or just in general, meeting people. Not just in your location can be really helpful because you can find people you really click with that they may not live near you, which can be a disappointment. But at the same time, if you're all willing to travel to see each other, it can be, if you click really well, it's totally worth it.
Yeah. And take trips together and say, hey, we want to go do this event together. Or, we'll meet up here in this city. Like, yeah.
Because traveling's fun.
Yeah,
it is.
It is
more fun when you have other people.
Yeah, especially because of his job. When we are traveling for work, like he's spending a substantial amount of time doing that work, and I'm usually left to just kind of figure out what I want to do on my own. So if we had couples that traveled with us, it would be great.
It would be, and it would take a lot of pressure off of me
to know that she's being well taken care of while you're working.
Entertained.
Yeah, I could be working and she's not just sitting there twiddling her thumbs for 12 hours. And I'm like, fuck, I'm sorry you're miserable.
I'm never miserable.
Yeah, she says that, but the look on her face is fucking.
Those conventions can be really long hours.
But she can go wherever she wants. You tell me a city or state or country, and I can
find work there.
I can tax right off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're really fortunate in that. His career can take us wherever we want to go, pretty much.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
very
super cool. Okay, well, I think that's it.
I think, we'll let you get to bed, finish the wine.
Yes,
and,
we didn't ramble too much.
No, not at all. Well, we'll let you get to bed, and we will chat soon, hopefully, and get maybe an update.
Yeah.
Of your traveling swinging.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks for reaching out to us too. So you said you use Instagram to communicate with everybody. You did reach out to us on Instagram, which was amazing. So thank you for doing that.
I did. It's the one way that I know how to get in touch with people. So I did reach out and started the process.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, fake goodbye, and we'll let you go for fake.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye. Thank you.
I charmed him. Remember when I said I gave him the old
I know.
I charmed him.
I think you did. I think we both did. They also charmed us because they told their story.
Oh, that's a good point.
Anyway, thank you, Gina and Matt, for sharing your incredible story and for being open and honest with us. It was amazing, and we're so happy to get it out there.
Absolutely. And if you are listening thinking, I could tell a better story than that, well, let's see it. Let's hear it.
Or how about just add your story?
Yeah, it's not a competition.
No.
One thing they did mention in there was Cassidy. If you're first-time listener, long-time... I messed that up, so I'm just gonna... If you're a first-time listener, Cassidy is an online dating site primarily geared towards swingers. If you're looking to get into that type of thing, it is one of the many options, and if you use the links on our website, you can get 6 months free to check it out. So thank you for doing that if you're going to do that.
Yeah. While we're mentioning dating websites, just quick plug for #open and Polyfinda as well.
Nailed it.
I know. There are also dating apps that we have talked about on the show and wanted to mention. They're on our resources page too.
All right. Next week, we'll see you Monday. What? Monday?
Monday!
Oh, let's tone it down.
That's the new Monday.
No. We'll see everybody on Monday for a special release episode with Taj.
Yes. We will.
Not Tosh, not Daniel Tosh.
Oh no, Tosh Point. No, I'm not. Not related at all.
Yeah, no, Taj. So we will see everybody on Monday, and then we'll see you again on Wednesday. So you have to put up with us twice next week. We're sorry about that. It's just the way it is. We will see you in a few days.
Yeah.
Have a great Wednesday.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening.